At first glance, they were a fashion disaster. Dubbed ugly by critics and dismissed as a passing fad, these clunky foam shoes seemed destined for the bargain bin. But within a few years, Crocs defied all odds. It transformed into a billion-dollar powerhouse embraced by everyone from healthcare workers to Hollywood stars. Today, they strut down luxury runways, dominate social media trends, and boast over 700 million pairs sold worldwide. What started as a quirky idea has become a cultural icon. How did this unlikely footwear phenomenon achieve such staggering success? The answer lies in resilience, innovation, and a bold embrace of individuality. Founders and backgrounds. The story of Crocs begins with three unlikely partners, Scott Siemens, George Bodecker, and Lyndon Hansen. Individually, they brought unique experiences and perspectives, but together, they would create one of the most unexpected success stories in footwear history. Scott Siemens was the quiet visionary of the group. A skilled inventor with a knack for problem-solving, Scott had built a comfortable life by developing and patenting innovative products. Semi-retired by his late 40s, he had the resources to pursue new ideas. But he had little inclination to chase trends. It was during a business trip to Canada that he stumbled upon a clog-like shoe made of a peculiar resin material. The design immediately intrigued him. It was lightweight, water-resistant, and odor-resistant. While functional, the shoe lacked a backstrap. So Scott set about tinkering with the design and unknowingly laid the groundwork for Crocs' signature style. George Bodecker brought an entrepreneurial edge to the team. George had overcome a difficult childhood and built a thriving career in business. He started with a lawn mowing venture at age 10. Later, George earned a college scholarship and went on to own over 100 Domino's pizza franchises. After that, he climbed the ranks of the fast food industry and served as an executive at Quiznos. By the early 2000s, George had the financial resources and business acumen to back bold ventures. However, his direct and sometimes impulsive approach would later bring both opportunities and challenges to the Crocs brand. Lyndon Hansen's life was at a crossroads when Crocs entered the picture. He was struggling after the loss of his job in computer hardware marketing, a divorce, and his mother's passing. Lyndon was sleeping on a friend's couch. Emotionally drained and searching for a fresh start, he welcomed the opportunity to join Scott and George on a sailing trip around the Caribbean. And it was a trip that would forever alter his trajectory. The Caribbean excursion was intended to help Lyndon clear his head, but it became a pivotal moment for all three men. Amid the turquoise waters and salty breezes, Scott introduced his friends to the resin clogs he'd discovered in Canada. Though functional, George and Lyndon initially found the shoes unappealing, even laughable. They were bulky, plain, and completely out of sync with mainstream fashion. But after wearing the clogs for a few hours on deck, their skepticism began to fade. The shoes were unbelievably comfortable, provided excellent grip on the slippery boat deck, and molded effortlessly to their feet. By the end of the trip, they weren't just convinced of the product's potential. They were ready to invest their time and money in bringing it to the U.S. market. The trio pooled their strengths and formed Crocs in 2002. Scott took the lead in refining the design. He added a backstrap for functionality and secured licensing rights for the foam resin material, Croslite. George provided a sizable initial investment and business expertise. He ensured they had the resources to scale production. Lyndon, with his marketing background, focused on building the strategy to distribute and promote the shoes. Their shared goal was simple: to create a practical, affordable shoe that prioritized comfort above all else. The name Crocs reflected the product's versatility. Like the semi-aquatic reptiles, these clogs could thrive on both land and water. It was a fitting metaphor for a shoe designed for durability and adaptability. It was a small but symbolic decision that would set the tone for their brand's ethos: functional, quirky, and unapologetically different. As they prepared to launch, the founders couldn't have imagined the journey ahead. From humble beginnings to a billion-dollar valuation, the company's rapid ascent was as improbable as it was remarkable. But first, they had to convince a skeptical public that an ugly shoe was worth buying. The Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, where they planned their debut, would be their first test, and a hint of the surprising success that lay ahead. The development of Crocs. The development of Crocs began with a bold vision to take a quirky, functional product and turn it into a household name. Central to this vision was the trio's partnership with Foam Creations, a company responsible for producing the resin material that would define Crocs' unique appeal. This material, known as Croslite, was the secret to the shoe's comfort, durability, and practicality. Croslite was unlike anything else in the footwear market. It was lightweight, odor-resistant, and slip-proof. Scott Siemens, George Bodecker, and Lyndon Hansen licensed the technology from Foam Creations and ensured exclusive rights to use the material in their designs. The founders wasted no time refining the shoe's design. Scott Siemens added a signature backstrap to enhance functionality and stability. George Bodecker pushed for the addition of more vibrant colors to appeal to a broader audience. With their prototype ready, the team turned their attention to introducing it to the world. Their chosen stage was the 2002 Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. The venue was filled with boating enthusiasts, exactly the kind of practical-minded consumers who might appreciate Crocs' functionality. The team's approach was as unconventional as their product. To capture attention, they stood at their booth and threw shoes at passers-by, inviting them to just try them on. It was a gamble that paid off. The unique look of the shoes piqued curiosity, but it was their unparalleled comfort that sealed the deal. By the end of the event, Crocs had sold out their initial batch of 200 pairs. Buoyed by their success at the boat show, the founders ramped up production and began targeting new markets. It quickly became clear that the shoes had appeal far beyond the boating community. Healthcare workers, chefs, and other professionals who spent long hours on their feet flocked to Crocs for their comfort and practicality. Their reputation spread through word of mouth, and sales soared. By 2003, the company had sold 76,000 pairs of shoes, a staggering accomplishment for a fledgling brand. One of the most strategic moves in Crocs' early development was the acquisition of Foam Creations in 2004. By purchasing the company outright, Crocs gained complete control over Croslite production and eliminated any competition for the material. This acquisition was a turning point. It allowed the founders to scale operations and secure their position as market leaders. With Croslite firmly under their control, the team focused on expanding their product line and improving distribution channels. Crocs' explosive growth continued in the years that followed. Between 2005 and 2006, their revenue climbed an astonishing 226% to reach over $108 million. This meteoric rise caught the attention of investors and retailers alike. Crocs' unique distribution model, which allowed retailers to order small quantities and restock as needed, lowered risks for sellers and ensured that their products were widely available. The brand's bold designs and growing popularity with niche audiences also generated significant buzz. All of this helped to establish it as a cultural phenomenon. In 2006, Crocs took a monumental step by going public. Their initial public offering raised a staggering $239 million. This made it the largest IPO in footwear history. This influx of capital enabled the company to expand into international markets and diversify its offerings. By the end of 2006, Crocs was selling in over 90 countries, and its stock price soared to an all-time high of $69 per share. The IPO also marked the beginning of a new era for the brand. The influx of funds allowed Crocs to invest in strategic partnerships, including licensing agreements with major franchises like Disney and the NBA. These collaborations introduced themed Crocs that appealed to children and sports enthusiasts. The company also acquired Jibbitz, a business specializing in charms that could be attached to Crocs, tapping into the growing trend of personalization. By 2007, Crocs was at the height of its early success. The company had sold over 50 million pairs of shoes and raked in $168 million in annual profit. It seemed unstoppable. Growth was fueled by its ability to resonate with a wide range of consumers, from professionals seeking comfort to fashion-forward individuals embracing the shoe's quirky charm. Yet this rapid ascent came with challenges. The pressure to maintain growth led to overexpansion. The company diversified into too many products and markets. While this would later cause financial strain, it also underscored the founder's ambition and willingness to take risks. As the company prepared to navigate its next chapter, it faced mounting challenges that would test its resilience. From financial missteps to public skepticism, Crocs' road to sustained success would prove far from easy. But for now, the brand stood as evidence of the power of innovation, bold marketing, and an unwavering belief in the value of comfort. Struggles and setbacks. The meteoric rise of Crocs in the mid-2000s was as dramatic as its subsequent tumble. While the company's innovative product and bold marketing initially propelled it to success, an overambitious expansion strategy and external challenges brought it to the brink of collapse by 2008. As demand for Crocs surged, the company sought to capitalize on its popularity by rapidly diversifying its product line. From simple clogs, Crocs expanded into over 5,000 stock-keeping units, including sandals, boots, sneakers, and even accessories. While diversification seemed like a sound strategy, it diluted the brand's core appeal. The new offerings failed to resonate with customers in the same way as the original clogs. This led to slower sales and rising costs. Moreover, the company expanded into numerous international markets without the infrastructure to support such rapid growth. In the process, it overextended its reach and strained its resources. The 2008 global financial crisis hit just as these issues came to a head. Consumer spending plummeted, and discretionary purchases like Crocs shoes took a major hit. With reduced demand, the company found itself saddled with 2 years' worth of unsold inventory filling warehouses and tying up capital. Crocs was forced to write down significant losses. The stock, which had once peaked at $69 a share, plunged to just over $1. Adding to these woes were legal disputes that threatened to undermine the company's unique selling point. A 2008 lawsuit claimed that Crocs had violated a patent for a material similar to Croslite. This raised questions about the originality of its design. Additionally, competitors began flooding the market with imitation products, which eroded Crocs' market share. Some even accused Crocs of being a copycat itself, pointing to earlier designs by Italian manufacturers that bore a resemblance to the iconic clogs. These challenges dented the company's reputation and distracted leadership from addressing its core operational issues. As Crocs teetered on the edge of bankruptcy, its leadership realized that drastic changes were necessary to survive. The company embarked on a comprehensive restructuring effort aimed at streamlining operations and refocusing on its strengths. Under new management, Crocs closed underperforming stores. This cut its global retail footprint significantly. It also reduced its product offerings by 80%, returning to the core clog designs that had originally driven its success. Inventory management became another key focus of the turnaround. By scaling back production and implementing a more flexible restocking model, Crocs was able to align supply with demand more effectively. This not only reduced costs but also helped rebuild trust with retail partners, who had been wary of overstocked inventory clogging shelves. The company also cleaned up its distribution network. It prioritized efficiency and profitability over aggressive expansion. To stabilize its finances, Crocs implemented significant cost-cutting measures. Over 2,000 employees were let go during this period. It was a painful but necessary step to ensure the company's survival. These actions helped reduce overhead and free up capital for reinvestment in the brand's revival. Despite these efforts, the road to recovery was far from easy. Public perception of Crocs had shifted during the downturn. Many wrote off the company as a passing fad. Investors remained skeptical, and the brand faced an uphill battle to regain its foothold in the market. However, the leadership team doubled down on a strategy to rebuild the brand by focusing on its core values: comfort, functionality, and individuality. A turning point came when Crocs began to embrace its divisiveness as a strength. Rather than trying to appeal to everyone, the company leaned into the polarizing nature of its design. This shift in strategy laid the groundwork for a remarkable comeback, but it would take years of persistence and innovation to fully restore the company's fortunes. The comeback story. The story of Crocs' resurgence is one of strategic reinvention, cultural timing, and a surprising embrace of what some once considered a flaw: its unconventional design. After nearly collapsing in 2008, Crocs made a stunning comeback by doubling down on its core strengths and tapping into new trends that celebrated individuality and comfort. While Crocs returned to its roots, the fashion world began to shift in its favor. In the mid-2010s, the rise of ugly fashion trends transformed the way people viewed aesthetics. Chunky sneakers, oversized silhouettes, and intentionally offbeat styles became mainstream. And brands like Balenciaga and Gucci embraced bold, unconventional designs. Crocs, once mocked for its clunky appearance, suddenly found itself at the forefront of this movement. The brand's unapologetic individuality resonated with consumers who were tired of rigid fashion norms. Crocs leaned into its divisive reputation with a tongue-in-cheek marketing campaign with the tagline, "Come as you are." Another key to the comeback was Crocs' ability to harness the power of celebrity endorsements. The brand's collaborations with high-profile figures and designers began turning heads. One of the most pivotal partnerships was with rapper Post Malone. His limited edition Crocs sold out in minutes. Other celebrities, from Justin Bieber to Bad Bunny, followed suit. They created exclusive lines that elevated the brand's cultural relevance. These collaborations weren't just about star power. They reflected a sense of playfulness and self-expression that aligned perfectly with Crocs' ethos. In addition to celebrity partnerships, Crocs tapped into the growing demand for limited edition drops, a strategy popularized by streetwear brands like Supreme. By releasing small, highly sought-after collections, Crocs created a sense of exclusivity around its products. Collaborations with fashion designers, including Christopher Kane and Balenciaga, further blurred the line between functional footwear and high fashion. The sight of Crocs on luxury runways turned skeptics into believers and helped reposition the brand as both practical and stylish. Marketing pivots played a significant role in Crocs' revival. The company shifted its focus to digital campaigns that leveraged social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Influencers and everyday users alike began sharing photos and videos of their Crocs, often adorned with gibbets charms that allowed for endless customization. This user-generated content amplified the brand's reach, particularly among younger consumers. Crocs embraced this trend. The company promoted personalization as a cornerstone of its appeal and encouraged fans to make the product their own. The COVID-19 pandemic provided an unexpected boost to Crocs' resurgence. As people around the world shifted to remote work and stayed indoors, comfort became a top priority. Suddenly, Crocs' lightweight, cushioned design was perfectly suited to the new normal. Healthcare workers, who were already among the brand's most loyal customers, turned to Crocs in droves for their long shifts. In response, Crocs launched the A Free Pair for Healthcare initiative. The company donated over 910,000 pairs to frontline workers. This act of goodwill not only boosted sales, but also solidified the brand's reputation as a company that cared about its community. The pandemic also accelerated Crocs' global reach. As consumers embraced casual footwear, sales skyrocketed in regions like Asia and Europe. By 2021, Crocs had achieved record-breaking revenue that surpassed $2.3 billion, nearly double its 2019 earnings. The brand's ability to adapt to changing consumer needs, combined with its strategic focus on digital marketing and product innovation, positioned it as a leader in the casual footwear market. Current financials and global impact. Crocs' financial resurgence is nothing short of remarkable. By 2022, the company had achieved a record $3.6 billion in revenue, a dramatic turnaround from its near bankruptcy in 2008. This milestone reflects the brand's popularity and its strategic adaptability in meeting the demands of a diverse and evolving global market. A significant driver of Crocs' success is its impressive global reach. The brand now operates in over 90 countries. Major markets span North America, Europe, and Asia. In 2021, international sales accounted for nearly 40% of its total revenue. The company's expansion into markets like China, where casual footwear has seen rapid growth, has further solidified its global presence. Collaborations with regional influencers and localized marketing strategies have been key to capturing new audiences and tailoring the brand to different cultural tastes. Sales figures underscore Crocs' growing demographic appeal. Once primarily associated with healthcare workers and boating enthusiasts, the brand now attracts a wide range of customers. Gen Z has emerged as a particularly enthusiastic audience. The rise of personalization, fueled by gibbets charms and limited edition collaborations, has turned Crocs into a form of self-expression for younger consumers. Meanwhile, older customers continue to value the brand's comfort and practicality. But Crocs' rapid growth has brought challenges, particularly in sustainability and maintaining cultural relevance. As the brand scales operations to meet increasing demand, it faces mounting pressure to reduce its environmental footprint. The production of Croslite relies on non-renewable materials. In response, Crocs has pledged to transition to a bio-based alternative for its signature foam by 2024. Additionally, the company is exploring carbon-neutral initiatives, including energy-efficient manufacturing processes and sustainable packaging. While these efforts are promising, achieving meaningful environmental impact will require significant investment and long-term commitment. Cultural relevance is another area where Crocs must tread carefully. The brand's resurgence has been fueled by its embrace of ugly fashion and celebrity collaborations, but trends can be fleeting. To remain relevant, Crocs must continue to innovate while staying true to its core identity. Recent collaborations with global icons like Justin Bieber and Post Malone have kept the brand in the spotlight, but the challenge lies in sustaining this momentum without overextending its appeal or diluting its message. Another challenge is the growing competition in the casual footwear market. As Crocs' success has soared, competitors have entered the space with similar products. Brands offering foam-based clogs and customizable designs have emerged. All are eager to capture a share of Crocs' market. To stay ahead, Crocs has focused on brand loyalty and differentiation, leveraging its iconic design and long-standing reputation for comfort. Crocs' journey from a niche product to a billion-dollar global brand is evidence of the power of reinvention and resilience. As it navigates the challenges of scale and sustainability, the company's commitment to innovation and individuality ensures that it remains a prominent player in the ever-changing world of fashion and footwear. Ultimately, Crocs is a model for turning perceived flaws into global success. Its journey demonstrates that staying authentic, adapting to change, and celebrating uniqueness can transform even the most unlikely product into a cultural icon. It's a lesson in embracing the unexpected and thriving because of it. Have you ever owned a pair of Crocs? Tell us all about it in the comments. We'd love to hear. For now, we're done. Catch you in the next video.